I've been to plenty of different grounds at various different levels of the game this season, from Sleaford Town in England's 9th tier to Standard Liège in the Belgian Pro League. They're all brilliant in their own way, but some grounds stick in my head and just need a revisit. So on Saturday I made the short trip up the A50 to Burslem in Stoke-on-Trent to Port Vale's Vale Park. I've seen Port Vale twice this season. I was at their 1-1 draw with Crewe at Vale Park back in November, and then I saw them at Chesterfield's SMH Group Stadium in January in another 1-1 draw. So, would this end up as another 1-1 draw? Well, those two games weren't just similar in score, they were bizarrely similar in other ways too. In fact, I felt like I'd just watched the same game twice. Port Vale scored in the first few minutes. Had a player sent off. Then conceded a late equaliser in both games. So surely that wasn't about to happen again. Last time I was at Vale Park, they were top of League 2 and had the chance to go 6 points clear at the top of the table, before a poor run of form allowed Walsall to jump into first place, and they pulled away into a substantial lead. That lead had grown to 12 points by mid-January after a run of 9 consecutive wins, and it looked like they were too far ahead to get caught. But fast forward to this weekend, and after an awful run of form, Walsall have surrendered their lead at the top, and could even find themselves dropping out of the promotion places. That would have been unthinkable back in January. After beating both Bradford City and Walsall in their last couple of games, Port Vale found themselves right in amongst the League 2 title race again. And with Bradford City throwing away a lead to lose away to Swindon earlier in the day, the mood at Vale Park was incredibly upbeat. That game at Swindon sounded like a brilliant one. You don't often see a game ending 5-4. The Vale's opponents were Football League newcomers Bromley, who won the National League playoffs last season, and I don't think I'd ever seen them play before Saturday. Bromley have to be happy with their season. Tipped for instant relegation by so many at the start of the season, they were sitting comfortably in the middle of the table, and nowhere near that relegation battle. They went into this one off the back of a 4-0 hammering of Accrington Stanley, but their form overall has been a little inconsistent. So off I went into Vale Park, and what an atmosphere! Ahead of this game, Port Vale had announced that tickets would be on offer for £10, with under-12s getting in free, in an attempt to pack the park, which seemed to work well. The place was buzzing. I always love the atmosphere at Vale Park, but Saturday was special. Port Vale are in white with Bromley in black. what were the chances of seeing another goal in the first 5 minutes? Well, incredibly, Jack Shorrock gave Port Vale the lead inside 5 minutes. So for the third consecutive game, I've seen Vale score early. Surely this one wasn't about to end 1-1 as well. Port Vale weren't happy to sit back and defend their 1-goal advantage, and they were clearly in the mood for more. And on the quarter of an hour mark, Laurent Tolai, who's been consistently their best player this season, thought he'd made it 2-0. But that goal was ruled out for an offside, and that must have been very tight. Was that offside, or did the linesman get it wrong? I know what the home fans thought. But on 28 minutes, Tolai did add a second, no offside this time, and Port Vale in total control. Bromley offered very little in that first half. They looked like their minds were already in holiday mode after an impressive season. And at half-time, it's Port Vale 2, Bromley 0. Bromley did look a little more lively at the start of the second half, though they still didn't look like much of a threat going forward, with nearly every long ball hitting the goalkeeper or floating out of play. Then just after the hour mark, a familiar name came on for Bromley. Ex-Vale player Harry McCurdy, who'd famously missed a penalty in the shootout in that crazy playoff semi-final a few seasons ago.
McCurdy steps up, shoots, and puts it over the bar! And Harry McCurdy, of all people, has egg on his face at Vale Park!
And I don't think he's that popular at Vale Park. Shortly after McCurdy's introduction, Port Vale's substitute George Byers made it 3-0. And Tolai quickly added a fourth. And with still more than 20 minutes remaining, this looked like it could end up being a heavy defeat for the visitors. Brian Crosdale added a fifth with around 10 minutes to go. But that was the end of the goal scoring. Final score, Port Vale 5, Bromley 0. And with that win combined with another defeat for Walsall, Port Vale find themselves 3 points clear at the top of League 2, with just 4 matches to play. Saturday's attendance was 10,864, which included 169 who made the long trip from Bromley. What a result that was for Port Vale. Let me know if you were at Vale Park on Saturday. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be returning to another one of my favourite grounds on Good Friday. I'm headed back down to Worcestershire to watch Bromsgrove Sporting play Biggleswade Town at the Victoria Ground. Thanks for watching, and why not check out what happened last time I was down in Bromsgrove.